I suppose it's the next one is sort of during that same trip, which was when I went to my first ever screening, and I was around people that I knew off the telly, but I'd never been in that room before. Well, Matt and Gary will both know, having been to these screenings, that what happens is you get ushered into a room. Everybody but you seems to know everybody else.
Yeah.
Apart from when Gary was in Endeavour.
Well, yeah,
Well, yeah.
I had a mobile phone, which was like a Tesco pay-as-you-go phone, because we were on holiday and I needed to contact people.
Were you the caddy?
Maybe it wasn't a burner phone. It was just a phone.
A Tesco burner phone.
Yeah, I decided, look, everybody knows one another. I just look like a real saddo over here in the corner. What I'll do is I'll pretend that I'm on the phone. So I did the thing of opening. It was a flip phone, I think, and I pretended to ring someone. And every now and again, when somebody would look over at me, I'd just go, yeah, well, that's a good point. Yeah, well, I will do that. And it was completely fictional. And then I remember it being really quiet, and at this point I was acting. I was in the role, and I was going, yeah, that'd be a good point. Well, call me afterwards. And the phone rang.
Nice.
And I jumped out my skin because I had it right near my ear. And I remember all the people turning around and looking at me, and I felt far worse than if I just sat there quietly. And I remember meeting one of the stars of the show and being covered in shortcake biscuit and thinking this isn't going too well. The show's called Last Tango in Halifax, which again Gary refers to as the old people's show.
These are Luke's Desert Island Dramas.
Oi! Sorry, it's emergency.
Jeez!
Dad.
Gillian!
That was the most selfish, mindless piece of driving I have ever witnessed.
Oh, it won't be a minute, love, then you can have it.
You could see I'd got my reversing lights on. You could see I'd already started manoeuvring.
Well, if you keep your hair on, I'll be less than 60 seconds.
Idiot.
Snotty bitch.
You can let her talk to you like that?
Mum, you all right?
Fine.
This must be Alan.
Yes.
How'd you do on Caroline?
How'd you do?
Thank you for staying with her till I got here. We're gonna have to go some brain-dead, low-life trailer trash stole my parking space.
And you've met my daughter.
Sorry?
Gillian, this is Celia. And Caroline.
Hello, Celia. I've heard a lot about you. I've met Caroline.
Right. The dramas that shaped us.
It was special to me because it was the first show I'd ever seen before anybody else. Normally I was seeing things after everybody else. It was a complete opposite to what I assumed it was going to be, and I think what a lot of people assumed it was going to be. I've seen Anne Reid several times since then, and she still remembers me and still comments on, oh, it's you from... Which is nice.
It's you
I
from
like
the biscuits, man.
It's you, Biscuit Boy. Yeah. It's a show that even now people think they know what it is, and it isn't what people think it is. It isn't about old people in love at all. It's far more than that.
It's almost like a family drama, isn't it? Because they sort of focused on the daughters in the second series more, the Nicola Walker and Sarah
Lancashire.
Yeah,
and it's also quite dark.
And their relationships and their pasts and things like that. And the Anne Reid and Derek Jacobi characters almost became sort of secondary characters in a way, even though they were the impetus for everyone getting together. As you say, really well written, really well done, and just the characters you sort of gravitated towards, I think.